friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I am so happy to see you today. You have made it through the week, so give yourself a big pat on the back. Give yourself a round of applause, whether it was an easy week or a hard week. It is always an accomplishment to make it through the week, especially if it was a long week, especially if you thought it was Friday 700 times. But it is now Friday. And if you are not new to my channel, you might know what today is, but today is Community Spotlight. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my cozy little corner of YouTube. And of course, welcome back to all of my gnomies to the cozy little corner. I hope that you find this to be the comfiest, the coziest little corner on YouTube. On Fridays here we have Community Spotlight, which is all about you guys. So anybody watching this video, if you are here and you are a part of my community, if you're watching this video, you are a part of my community, I should say, you are always welcome to participate in Community Spotlight. It is for all of us. Skill level doesn't matter, craft doesn't matter, whatever it is that you have made, if you would like to share it, you are always welcome to. So just for future reference, obviously you're a little late to get in on today's video that you're currently watching, but for future reference, my email is in the description box below this video and all of my videos. It is novagnomecreations@gmail.com. You can send me an email any time of day, any time of night, any day of the week, and you just put Community Spotlight as your subject line, and then in your email, make sure you attach your pictures of your makes. Like I said, it can be anything. Anything you make. It can be fiber arts, it can be crochet, it can be knit, it can be loom knit, but it can also be drawing, painting, sculpting, diamond art, cricketing, you know, you going at it with a hot glue gun and making something cool. It can be whatever it is that you have been up to if you would like to share it. This is a little crafty community. Most of us are multi-crafters. Like, I don't think I've ever met a crafter that only did one craft. Everybody that I know who's a crafter is like a chronic, like, multi-crafter. So I'm pretty sure that there is somebody watching who is going to be just as into whatever it is that you're sending in as you are. And that's the cool thing. That's the cool thing about Community Spotlight. This is someplace that you can have mutual appreciation of the stuff that you're into. You know, the thing that you put so much work into that you don't necessarily have anybody in your day-to-day life that is just as excited as you are. You know, you run out holding your millionth thing that you've made, you know, the millionth thing you've crocheted or the millionth thing you've painted. But each thing is different for you. Each thing took you so much time. You did different things. You employed new skills. You did different color combinations. You know, everything that you do is different. But people who aren't into crafting, especially, they don't really see that. But guess what? The people in this community do. We see the hard things that you're doing. We see the new skills that you're trying. We see the new colors that you're putting together. Or we just appreciate what you're making, even if it is the millionth one, to be completely honest. But anyway, when you're sending in your email, just attach your pictures, and then you can say anything you want to in your email, but make sure you let me know what name you would like me to credit you as. Like I said, like I say all the time when I'm talking about Community Spotlight, I am happy to shout out, you know, your channels, or, you know, if you have a YouTube or an Instagram or even an Etsy shop, I am happy to be like, hey, this is so-and-so on Etsy or whatever. But I gotta know. You gotta tell me. And then also, some people like to go by their whole name. Some people only like to go by their first name, or their first name and their last initial. Some people go by their screen name. It's just a lot easier for me and you to make sure everybody's happy if you just let me know. Even if I already know, even if you're around all the time and I know what you go by, just pop it in there, because it makes it so much easier when I go to edit Community Spotlight if that info is just right in front of me. I don't got to stop and like try to track down everybody's information as I'm going. I can just kind of breeze through it. It streamlines the process a little bit. But yeah, that's Community Spotlight info. So today's Friday. That means we are going to be having our montage here, our Community Spotlight montage. I'm going to be going into my email and getting all of those Community Spotlight emails out. I do not open them until I'm making my videos. So if you send me a Community Spotlight email, make sure you don't put anything time sensitive in it. To be quite honest, don't really email me time sensitive stuff, because I cannot promise I will get to it in a timely manner. Sometimes I get a little behind on those things, but I leave the Community Spotlight emails purposely to open when I'm editing Community Spotlight, because I like to leave them all bold-faced and unopened, and like I know I've never put them in a video because I've never opened them. And it's kind of exciting for me, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like on Fridays, either, you know, Thursday nights or Friday mornings, whenever I decide to like edit together the video, I kind of like digging into there and not having known what you guys are sending in all week, because it's fun for me too. It's fun for me to edit the Spotlight and see what you guys have been making. But that is what today's video is all about. So I have a little FO for you guys because it is also FO Friday. Sometimes I have an FO for you guys as part of Community Spotlight, sometimes I don't. FO is finished object, by the way, if you do not know the lingo. But I do have a little finished object for you guys. It's the donut that I was showing you on Wednesday. So I decided not to put anything on this. Like, I can always change my mind, was kind of what I went through. I went through a whole like slew of emotions. Like, I know I have to turn it into something, because I was like that was the whole point. I have the Donut Buddies book with me today, by the way. So here is the Crochet Donut Buddies book that I was using. And that is where I got the pattern for this donut. Like I told you guys on Wednesday, though, I did double strand it, used a 5mm hook, so it came out really big. And originally, like I was saying on Wednesday, I was gonna make the lamb, but now I don't want to, because I think it came out looking like a powdered donut. I love flipping through here because it still smells like book, like it still smells like new book, like that paper smell. And I flipped through here several times trying to be like, okay, which buddy am I going to turn this donut into? Because I felt like I had to turn it into one. I was going to show you guys the lamb, if I can remember what page it's on. I have a million tab markers in here of ones of these that I want to make. Either I think they're cute, or I think they would be cute for, oh, it's a sheep. Either I think it's cute, or I think it would be cute for like my nephew or my niece. So here's the sheep one. And the way that you do these donuts, you make the donut itself and then you make the icing. So like, I gotta make sure I don't show you guys any pattern, but I don't know if you guys can really tell with this one, but actually the whole top half of it is icing. So like, it would cover up the donut. Let me see, is there one that's like a little bit easier to tell? Yes, this one is a little bit easier to tell. And yes, I'm folding my book so I don't show you guys pattern, if you wondered. So you see how that, like, this whole brown part is actually the icing, quote unquote, you know, for the donut. So the part that I did is technically gonna be completely hidden by the stuff you put on top. I've got like little fuzzies of polyfill from when I sewed this together. And I don't want to cover it up because I think it looks like a powdered donut. So I decided, you know what? I can do whatever I want. Why am I like, I have this tendency sometimes to get like held back by a barrier I put up myself. I'm like, I don't have to turn it into anything. Like, I don't have to turn it into a donut buddy if I just like it like this. So I was like, you know what? This is just going to be a big old powdered donut. I love it. It's in like pastel shades. Actually matches the new rug and my pom-poms up there. It's in like pastel rainbow, and I think it's so cute. I love it. And I'm just gonna leave it like this. And if I change my mind, I can always modify it and turn it into something. But for right now, I'm really enjoying it like it is. It's giving me a lot of serotonin. I really like the powdered donut look of it. And I did stuff it and I did sew it together. So you sew it together here on the inside. It's like very interestingly made. You basically just make the whole thing and then you collapse it together and sew up here and stuff it at the same time as you go. So I'm really happy with that. I love it. And I'm just going to leave it like that. But I do have like a bunch of other donut buddies bookmarked. I don't know if I'm like which ones I'm going to all make right now. Obviously, I'm not making like 700 donut buddies right now. But I did go through and just mark a bunch. It's one of the fun things about going through books like this, seeing what you would want to make. I think my favorite is actually right here on the cover. I think my personal favorite, like, for the most part, I was going through here at first and marking ones that would be cute for like my nieces and nephew. But then I saw ones that I liked a lot too, like this snail. It's so weird. I am not a snail person. Like normally I would not be a snail person, but look how cute. That snail is so cute. Also, this is like totally Baby Yoda or Grogu or the child, whatever you'd like to call him. And then here is my note where I just wrote down the basic donut pattern in quicker writing than they have it written down. I don't know if you guys ever do that. That's one of the things that I totally recommend if you're going to be doing a pattern, especially like something like this where you're going to be doing it a bunch of times. You do the same basic donut for every donut buddy. You make that donut and then you do whatever like the modifications are to make it into whatever animal or whatever character. But they write it out in a way that's not like quick, like shorthand, which I really like mine written like shorthand. I like to be able to just glance at it, see what I need to do, and not read like a whole paragraph for each step. Which, don't get me wrong, especially with harder patterns, it's totally necessary to have those explanations of how to do things. But with a pattern that's like basic, I don't need that, and I prefer not to have that. So I prefer it to just say single crochet 6 instead of like, I don't know, I don't even know. Let me see if I can get you guys an example or not. Oh my gosh, you guys. In the how to use this book, they have the snail, but they also made like a bigger one. I love the snail. I'm gonna have to make that snail. Let me see. Basic donut pattern. Okay, so I'm not gonna like actually read you guys the pattern, obviously, because this is the paid for book, and also even if it was free, it's not cool to share other people's patterns. But like, for example, just one of the rounds, 1 single crochet in each stitch around. That's super straightforward and basic, but I don't need it to say that. For that, you know, okay, I'm not even gonna give a stitch count. Let's just say the round is 30 stitches. I just wanted to say single crochet 30 or SC 30. I don't need it to be like 1 single crochet in each stitch around, or like a lot of times patterns will say like single crochet in 3 or something like that. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches and then 2 single crochets in the 4th stitch or something like that. And I'm like, I don't need it to say that. I just wanted to say, you know, in parentheses, SC3, comma, INC, which is increase, put those in brackets, times 6 or whatever, however many repeats I'm doing. I prefer it like that because I can just glance at it and know what I'm doing, and I don't need to sit there and read that whole thing. It's like overly complicating it for me. It doesn't need to be that way. Obviously, some people probably prefer it the other way. It's just, you know, totally a matter of preference. But that's the reason that I recommend anytime you're doing a pattern, whether or not it's going to be something you're making a bunch of times, especially though if you're going to be making it a bunch of times like this donut, I highly recommend reading it and writing it in the way that you like to read a pattern. So grabbing a piece of paper or a sticky note, you don't got to write down the whole pattern if you don't want to, but you can just do the sections, you know, as you're doing them. Write it down in the way you like to read patterns, because for one, reading it before you do it is going to help you because you're going to make sure that you understand everything coming up. And 2, you can just write it down in the way you prefer to read it, the way your brain is going to process it the best. And as you're going, you don't got to sit there and look at each line and be like, oh, why'd they write it this way? So that's just my little 2 cents on, you know, pattern reading. But anyway, guys, I have something exciting. I got a little bit of happy mail. I am so sorry that this should have been opened like last week. My hubby picked me up from the airport, and if I remember right, I think he might have brought this to the airport. Like, I think it was in the car, and he was like, yeah, you have mail. And I was like, cool, I haven't seen you in a month. Like, I was excited, but I just kind of forgot about it. And Bonnie commented yesterday saying, hey, did you get a package from me? And I was like, oh, I did. Like, I literally remembered getting it, and I hadn't even opened it because I wanted to wait to open it, which I did open the box, but I haven't opened the contents. I wanted to wait to open it, you know, when I was doing a video and everything, but my brain went right back out the other side. Like, there was just so much going on at that moment that I just completely forgot. So yes, I did get it. I'm so sorry. But like, I can't really say anything else for myself other than I just had a stupid moment. But anyway about it, I do have the package here. I am going to open it. There's a little note in here, and then just to prove I haven't opened it, it is so cutely wrapped. Look how adorable this is. I love it. I love the like wrapped in, oh, I think this is wrapped in a book. Is this wrapped in book page? It's wrapped in book page. I thought it was newspaper when I first glanced because I didn't really look at it. It's wrapped in book page, and it's got little, I think these are stickers and twine on it. I love that. It's so cute. I love the aesthetic. And then there's a little note. I want to read the note first, so let me, oh, there's a little drawing. Okay, so there are things for the community blanket. She says, I wanted to try out something completely new to me, so here are 3 fun ones to make. 2 are coils, and the other is a cute flower. I would be happy if you could include these in your community blanket. It is so exciting to see it growing and growing. I know you're busy right now with important family things. Have a safe trip. Enjoy meeting the new baby. See you when you return, Bonnie. And then look at this cute little heart. Oh my God, I love it so much. So cute. Okay. So like I said, yes, I did have stuff going on, but I still really feel bad that I didn't get to open this a little bit quicker. Oh no, I was trying to untie the bow and instead I made it into a knot. I'm very talented like that. There we go. I love this aesthetic though, with the little book pages and the twine. That is so cute. Okay, let's see. And I was literally just thinking about community blanket, by the way, guys, now that I'm back. If you haven't been here, you might not know, but I'm working on a community blanket, which you guys have all been sending in squares for. And usually I do community blanket updates also on Fridays, like if I get squares in the mail or if I've been working on putting them together, things like that. I was thinking about that literally yesterday, that I want to get back to starting or working on getting them connected together. But yeah, sorry, I got a pop up and I was like trying not to read it. I get distracted. Okay. Anyways, let me check out these squares. Oh, I see what she means by coil. I was so confused. I was like, coils? So there's 2, like, I don't know. She called them coils. I would call them spirals. So sorry that I have to keep clearing my throat. These are so cute. This literally makes me think of like a confectionery, like Neapolitan ice cream or something, because it's got like the like vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate kind of vibes. Or like there's these little like cracker cookies that you can get that have like marshmallow stuff on them. This like seriously reminds me of those. They start with like an M, like Mambos or something like that. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but these are so cute. I love them, and those are definitely like a cool new technique. I'm so sorry, you guys. I think that this is made the same way that you do freeform crochet. I think that this is made that way where like you work it in increments. Like you work this till like you get to here, and then you'll work this, or well, no, the other way around. But you have to work it in like chunks because you got to work the next part so that you have something to work into. So like, I don't know, it's really difficult to explain the way that you spiral in freeform crochet. But I think that this has worked the same way. So it's really cool that you made squares out of it. I love that. These are super, super cool. And then this one is a flower. Front, back. Yes, I believe this is the back. Yes, this is the back. I love it. That is so cute. Thank you so much, Bonnie. I love them. And they will absolutely go into our community blanket. I'm so excited. Yay! But yes, I will be working on the community blanket. I'm going to work on putting together stuff, see about getting that completed sometime soon. You guys are still welcome to send in squares for it. I have absolutely no idea how many more squares I'm going to need from what I already have. But oh, I forgot to say when I was talking about the Donut Buddy book, I will link in the description box. I have a book look of that book. So if you're interested in what's in that book, more than I just showed, I will link it in the description box. And there's a video where I literally just talk about that book and what's inside that book. I will also link the community blanket project video in case anyone is newer and doesn't know what I'm talking about. It's been a little bit since we talked about it. There's just been a lot going on these last few months, honestly, like with the holidays and then family stuff. It's been like a little crazy. But I'm gonna be working on putting that together. I don't know how many more squares I'm gonna need, but I'm still accepting squares. I mean, like, I will continue to make the blanket when there are squares. Like, it might end up being a really big blanket, and that'll be amazing. So if it does, it does. You know, if it becomes like a lap blanket, then it becomes a lap blanket. I have like an idea written out about the sizing, which I've talked about in other videos, where like I'm putting the squares together to make like panels, and then I'll put together the panels. So the goal is to make it like bed sized, but like I said, it's totally customizable based on how many squares I get. If I don't get enough to make it that size, that's totally fine. If I get more than that many, then I'll either make a second blanket or something, or I will just make it really big. We'll see. It's totally like, it's just like a fun project. There's no rules or anything. And that's what's fun about it, is there are no rules. You guys can send in squares of any size, any style. I'm just figuring it out and putting it together. And there's no rules about like, oh, it has to be exactly this size or like these colors or this material of yarn. Like, you can literally use whatever you want. And I think it's really fun in that way, because it is something that everybody in the community who can make squares, of course, is able to join in on. You can be anywhere from a beginner to like an advanced like crocheter or knitter, or I suppose you could even like quilt a square. I don't know. I'll figure it out. If you send me a square that you make that can be put into a blanket, I'll figure it out. So like, whatever your particular craft is, if you want to send in a square, I'll figure it out. But it means anybody can join in, because it's like literally any skill level. You could just do a basic granny square if you want to. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I've been jibber jabbering a lot, but I am going to go into the community spotlight montage portion of this. So as always, I ask, if you guys have a moment, make sure you drop a comment below and leave some kind words for the people that are sending in their makes for community spotlight. Let them know that they're doing a good job. You know, whatever kind of thoughts come to your mind, just type them out real quick. Like, it takes 5 seconds to type it out, as long as it's nice. I would be so thankful, and I know that other people would be so thankful as well, for you to leave those kind words, because you never know what other people are going through. You never know how much they need to hear those kind words, those uplifting things. You might be the only person that has said something nice to them this week. It is that kind of world sometimes, you guys, and not everybody has the most supportive people in their life. So if you've got 5 seconds, leave those comments, and if you are wanting to participate in Community Spotlight, you are always welcome to. All right, guys, let's see what everybody sent in. Here is a picture of my little sugar donut. And then we have, first up, Kathy R. This is Cleo, which is her daughter's cat, in cross-stitch form. She said she was thrilled with it, and it was a lot of work, but it came out really awesome. I think that hard work shows, and you did such a good job. The next thing that she has is this scrap blanket. It's a 12 by 12 inch squares blanket, where she did 5 by 5 squares. She did a double crochet border, and she said all the squares are different, based loosely on a cow by Juan the Yarn Addict, but it did not even make a dent in her scrap buckets. It may not have made a dent, but it is gorgeous, so there's that at least. The next submission is from Kim, who has a YouTube channel named Kim D. Her sister has a laser cutter, and she's part of a mini group, and she's making these little house on the prairie minis. So she gave her sister these to build her own, and she added her own tiny little leggy frog crochet. And she said her sister even printed a little Tim Hortons donut box, which, being from a border town in Michigan, that was like the first thing I noticed, was that box of Timbits. That is such a cute little detail. For those of you that don't know, Tim Hortons is a Canadian coffee chain, but they do have stores also in the States, just like not as popular as it is in Canada. Absolutely way too cute. I love these. Next up, our beautiful Julie Ann sent in some amigurumi. First, she made this butterfly with a tutorial by Rose and Lily Crochet. It is so cute and it looks so squishy. Next up, she has this Calvin and Hobbes that she made with a tutorial by Amy Amore. Oh, they're so cute. And then lastly, she made some flamingos with a tutorial by Crafts Go Bloom. I'm like wanting to make something like that soon for some chicks. Do it in like yellow yarn. Thank you guys so much for sending in your makes for Community Spotlight. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys again real soon. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.